But me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to the command post. You know what it is. Post up. Take command. I, of course, am your commander-in-chief, Louie T. Thank you for joining me. I told you guys, if there was more news, you would see me again. I'm back. Washington signs Cody Barton, former Seattle Seahawks linebacker, to a one-year deal. Now, terms of the deal aren't disclosed, and it's a one-year deal, so it's not going to be for very much money. There aren't very many guarantees in this deal. They're essentially taking a flyer out on Cody Barton. This was a former third-round pick of the Seattle Seahawks back in 2019. I went back and watched my draft wrap-up series from 2019 to see how I felt about Cody Barton when he was coming out of Utah. And I think a lot of the same things still apply. Run and chase linebacker, a guy that I said was going to start out on special teams and eventually would work his way onto the field in Seattle. What happened? It took him 3 years, but finally he worked his way onto the field in his fourth and final year in Seattle. Started 11 games this year. Actually had a pretty solid year, for his standards. But again, not going to knock your socks off. This is the way I view this. First and foremost, this can't be it, right? This is not what I envisioned when I looked at the linebacker position and the depth of it in free agency and looked at what could be the possibilities of, Washington bringing in someone. Tremaine Edmonds is gone. David Long is gone. Bobby Okereke is gone. He went to the Giants to make matters worse. At this point, I'm like, just bring Cole Holcomb back. I'm good. I'm not tripping because our guy is still available. And, if all else fails, just bring Cole back. And I told you, he would be someone that would be off to the side because he really didn't play, most of last year. After week 7 in the Green Bay game, he was out for the remainder of the season. So I think he's kind of off the beaten path. I just know this. I better not see Cole Holcomb inks a one-year deal with so-and-so and we're rolling with Cody Barton into the draft. I'm going to be pissed. So as far as I'm concerned, I look at Cody Barton as a replacement for David Mayo. All right, David Mayo, you get your things, you can go. Cody Barton, we're going to insert you into the David Mayo role. Now, I will say this about David Mayo. David Mayo has never once shied away from contact in a hole to stop a running play. I've heard Cody Barton not necessarily going to, he's not shying away from contact, but he's not discarding anyone and getting to the ball carrier either, which is a specialty of David Mayo. Mayo struggles in coverage and running down the field and things of that nature, which Barton does not. However, their styles kind of contrast one another. I don't give a shit. I would prefer David Mayo no longer be on the roster. And if you told me Cody Barton was filling in the David Mayo role, because we signed Mayo back for a one-year deal, we just signed Barton to a one-year deal, I don't think both of these guys are going to end up on the roster. If you told me that we were just bringing in Barton to fill the Mayo role and we were still going to go out and get a linebacker in free agency, I'd be cool with that. Because remember, I said I needed 2 of them. I needed 2 backers. Okay, and Barton is 1. If you tell me you're bringing back Cole Holcomb, I'm good. Even if you didn't do anything in free agency or the draft, I'd be fine. If you told me you brought back Khaleke Hudson, you are bringing back Cole Holcomb, you already got Jamin Davis, you got Cody Barton, and, maybe one of the young fellas rounds out the group, whether it's Milo Eifler, who seems to be the player at the linebacker position that we just can't kill, or you go out and get another young boy to come in here and compete, whatever the case may be. If you told me that, I'd be fine. But what you can't sell me is that Cody Barton is going to come in here and be competing for meaningful snaps. That's what you can't convince me of. So he's an off-the-ball linebacker. So we'll see what they decide to do. My money's on Cole Holcomb being back here in Washington, which I have no issues with. I've stated this many a times. Love Cole Holcomb. Love what he brings to the table. And I think there's some unfinished business with him here. But I am not the biggest fan of this particular signing. I'm not opposed to it if you tell me that he's here to fill David Mayo's role or John Bostic's role on the team. I'll be more than fine with that. If you're telling me that he's here to play meaningful snaps, I have a problem with that. And I don't think that's what they're telling me with a 1-year deal, okay? Had he signed a 3-year deal, yeah, you were pretty much telling me you were bringing him here to play meaningful snaps. That's not what you just did. You just threw a rock into the lake and you're hoping that it skips a couple times and you're like, hey, look at that one. You know, you're just throwing a dart at the board and you're hoping it sticks. I have no problems with that. As long as you bring back Cole Holcomb, we have no issues. David Long Jr. signed for $11 million. 2 years, $11 million in Miami. And look, to each its own. Maybe he wasn't our cup of tea. He was mine, okay? But maybe it wasn't theirs. And that's fine. All I know is when this game of linebackers, musical chairs is done, we better have a damn seat. That's all I know, okay? That's all I'm saying. And I don't really give a shit what the seat is. I prefer it at this point. I just want my stuff back. I'm not even being greedy anymore. I'm not even side-eyeing any of the other free agents. I just want my guy back now. Just give me Cole Holcomb back at this point, okay? Just give me my stuff back. I just know this. Cody Barton better not be the only free agent linebacker that we come away with. I don't think he will. I don't think he will be. But I digress. I will keep my eyes peeled, my ears to the street, and I will see if anything else develops. I can tell you this much. Not overly enthused by this move, and I talked to a number of Seahawks fans after finding out this news, and they pretty much to a man said, hey, man, solid linebacker, looks like Tarzan, sort of plays like Jane is the conclusion that I ended up walking away with. Big guy, can run a little bit, athletically gifted. He'll be around the ball, right? He'll be around the ball, but if a blocker gets to him, he's probably not going to get off of that block. But if you keep him clean, he's a problem. Heard that story many times before. He's a good athlete. If I'm not mistaken, he ran a 4.64 40 when he was coming out of Utah back in 19. So he can run. He's a good athlete. And he's a nice sized guy, 6'2", 235-ish. So, you know, solid size linebacker, can move a bit. He checks off a lot of boxes. I just know this. He better not be the prize of the linebacker class for us. And again, if you just bring Cole Holcomb back, I feel damn good about what's been done at linebacker. Bringing Cody Barton in, bring Cole Holcomb back, we bring Khaleke Hudson back, you know, got Jamin Davis already in tow, and then whatever else happens, if nothing else happens, we don't have a deep linebacking room to begin with. We never have. So just adding Cody Barton and bringing back Khaleke Hudson and Cole Holcomb, if that were to be the case, would provide plenty of depth at a position where we only put 2 linebackers on the field at a time. Remember, I think it was 2 years ago where we only kept 3 linebackers or 4 linebackers when we got to the 53-man roster. Obviously, we made some alterations, but linebacker in the defensive scheme that we play, linebacker is insignificant in terms of depth. You don't have to have a ton of those guys. And with the advent of the practice squad and being able to elevate guys, it makes it a lot easier to not, you know, keep a bunch of linebackers on the roster with the way we play defense. So, you know, you give us 4 quality backers, you know, which if you bring back Holcomb, you've signed Barton, you got Khaleke Hudson, you got Jamin Davis. That's 4 quality backers, okay? With Davis and Holcomb being your starters, I'd be perfectly fine with that. Perfectly fine with it. Make it happen. Do it. Do it. Do it. But that's going to do it for me, your man Louie T here on another installment of the Command Post. You know what it is. Post up. and take command. Anything else happens, I'll be back. Somebody told me I should have did this the last time. I'll be back. Okay? So if anything happens, I'll be back. I told you these boys was going to get busy day one. Didn't I tell you? I told you they was going to get busy. I didn't expect this busy, though. They exceeded my busy. Okay? They exceeded my busy. But I like it. I like it a lot. But they better not be done. That's all I know. That's going to do it for me, your man Louie T. Until next time, you guys, take care. Have a good one.
LouieTeeNetwork.